All right, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be displaying the YPC mini computer, which is really cool. Here's the box, the top half of the box rather, and here's the device itself, which is indeed a mini computer. It's about the size of my hand, which is really nice. So very portable, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So to kind of tell you about the features, this thing is equipped with a 10th generation Intel U processor. It's actually the 10810U processor. It's a 6-core i7 processor that can go into turbo mode up to 4.9 gigahertz, which is really awesome. So it can handle heavy workloads like multitasking. It'll run smoothly, and it kind of mimics a workstation-like experience. However, I will say this uses only 15 watts, where it's measured in TDP, whereas normally a computer like a workstation is going to use anywhere from typically 50 to 100 watts of power, and this only uses 15. So it's going to be a lot more efficient than your standard workstation, but it's going to work just as great. One of the nice things is you can mount this mini computer to the back of your monitor. So I could mount it back here, and it actually comes with the mounting brackets and hardware. So here's the mounting bracket. So it just goes on the back like this, and then you can mount it with the provided screws, depending on what kind of screws you need. And that can just be mounted to the back of your monitor, which is really nice to kind of just get it out of the way, and it looks really clean. This mini computer also comes equipped with some Kingston high-speed RAM, so memory, and SSD. So it's got 16 gigs of RAM installed into this, so it's going to be lightning fast. And it also has a 500 gig NVMe drive, which is typically the speeds on it can be up to 2300 megs per second, which is about 10 times faster than a standard hard drive, and even about 5 times faster than your typical like SATA 3 SSD. And you can expand this. So you can expand the RAM or the memory up to 64 gigs, and the hard drive can be expanded all the way up to 10 terabytes, which is pretty crazy. So if you wanted to use this for other purposes where you need more storage, more RAM, you can upgrade it if you need. But it comes pre-equipped with really nice equipment, and I'm very happy about that. So let's talk about some of the ports on this. So it's got 2 USB 3.0 ports. It's got a USB-C port. It's got a microphone or headset jack, which is your typical like 3.5 millimeter audio jack. And then it's got a power button, which is a physical button, which is nice to see. And then on the sides, you have vents to keep it cool. And then on the back, you can see it's got more copper vents, which is really nice to see. And here's your 12 volt AC outlet connector. You have 2 other USB 3.0 jacks. There's one here, and then I actually have one plugged in on the bottom here for my wireless mouse. So that makes a total of 4 USB 3.0 jacks. Nice to see there. Then you have a display port and an HDMI 2.0 port. And then you have your RJ45 Ethernet port. So the nice thing about this is, as you can see, it's got the display port and the HDMI port. You can have dual monitors running on this little computer, and it can output up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. So really powerful and nice to see. Let's get this YLIM PC hooked up. I'm gonna hook it up to my monitor using an HDMI. So I'm just gonna plug it into the back using this HDMI port, and then I already have my mouse. So I'm gonna show you how to get this thing set up, kind of walk through it real quick and give you my first impressions. So just plugging it into HDMI is really simple, just like that. And I'm gonna make sure my mouse is on. I need to plug it into power as well. Okay, so now it's all hooked up to power. So you're going to see this blue light gets displayed as you're powering it on. It comes pre-installed with Windows, which is nice to see that it already comes with a Windows OS, so it's ready to go right out of the box. So this could take a moment. Let's just kind of, I may speed up the video here just to kind of walk through the install process. Okay, and it is recognizing my wireless mouse, which is nice to see. I'm in the United States. You want to select your keyboard layout. In this instance, I used US keyboard layout and I don't have a secondary keyboard. I'm just going to skip this. Okay, so what it's going to do, and I kind of cut it out here, is it's going to ask you a lot of your personal information, like your username, your password, some recovery password options, and then it's going to give you some options of what kind of data it wants to capture, like if you want to share your advertising ID, things of that nature. So I just kind of skipped through that, and now it's getting through the setup process. It says it's going to take a few minutes, so I'll speed up this as well once we get through it. Okay, so now I'm at the kind of Windows screen homepage. It loaded up really quick. Just took a few minutes to get this whole thing started. And I'm putting my hand on the computer itself and I can hear some fans running, but there's hardly any heat being outputted through this. So it runs nice and cold. Again, it's only running at the 15 watt TDP, so very low power unit, which is really nice to see that it's energy efficient. And let's test out that Core i7 processor, which is kind of the top of the line processor for what you can get in a Windows computer. And let's see how quick it can multitask. So I'm going to open up some windows here. So it's the first time I'm using Microsoft Edge, so it's getting it started. While that's running, I'm going to open up File Explorer. Let's open up some other things. All right, so Edge is open. Let's try and just open up a bunch of windows and see how well it handles it. So I'll go to TurboTax, I'll go to Microsoft 365, eBay, Netflix, LinkedIn, QVC, and all of these are already loaded super quick. So let's just click into one of these. Maybe if we go into eBay and kind of just peruse to see how quick it loads eBay. So I'll click on electronics, cell phones and accessories. Everything's loading super fast. Maybe I want to look at Apple iPhones. So I'm very impressed with how quickly this runs. I mean, I've got multiple windows up. It's loading each thing I click super fast. So overall, very impressed with this specific YPC-M3 model of the mini computer. So thanks for watching.